You are entering the cosmos.
Hello, cadets. I'm General Lemuel T. Howitzer, and this is the last show of the year, the last show of season 2. We did 2 seasons this year because we did double duty since October. So I'm very happy about that, and I have an important announcement to make. No, I don't have NFT trading cards. We are going to release.
But you should, General. But you should.
No,
I'm going to write that
no.
down. I'm sorry.
I'm not going to do NFT trading cards with laser vision. And no, that's embarrassing.
No,
so anyway,
wonderful, and it could have noises. It could make noises. It would be wonderful.
What kind of noise would laser vision make?
The peach tea noise.
It would make peach tea noises? Is that what you're waiting for? Laser vision noises?
Yeah, and it would say a face only a mother could love, and it would do all your catchphrases, you know, the row, the growl, the Roy Orbison growl.
No, I'm not going to do NFT trading cards. Okay, I'm not going to do it.
All right.
That's just a terrible shill. It's embarrassing, and I have an important announcement to make. We are going to give you a best of season 1 show, maybe late tonight, could be or tomorrow, and we're going to do a best of season 2 show this weekend. So to give you the best of clips from Major Millie Hazzard, who you just saw there a second ago, and myself, and our guests. Ruby Ray Moore, Julio Morales, Alan Hobbs, Robert's Dead Guy Sandler. You know, they're all there. So I hope you can enjoy this. I'm sorry?
Godzilla fans unite.
Unite Godzilla fans, yes. Very good clips from the Smog Monster episode in season 1. Yes, indeed.
The cadets are wanting to know about your outfit tonight. Of course, you look very snazzy in that suit.
Well, again, I got dressed up because it's the last show of the year.
Well, you look wonderful. You should do this more often. I think it's very beautiful. Beautiful.
You know, and I don't know if it's cold where you are, but it's damn cold here.
You clean up good. You clean up good, General.
Well, thank you. I thought of not doing the hat, but then I gotta wear my hat.
You gotta wear the hat. You earned the 4 stars. You gotta wear the 4 stars.
So I'm glad that you're here with me, keeping everything running forward smoothly. I realize that there has been a technical problem with our slideshow, so you won't be able to see Major Hazzard for most of the show.
And I'm pretty sure that it's Russian. It's Russian, origin. I can't prove it, General, but it just seems a little suspicious. I know
it could be that little yappy dog that's out there around your ankles.
Well, there's the Russians are not happy about the defense work that we're doing, and that's not a secret. But it's okay. It's all right.
Well, they should be unhappy, and I'm glad.
Exactly, I'm glad to be on those short.
I'm loving all the news reports we're getting in from the Ukraine and how Putin's about ready to go to his bunker and put an end to it all. I hope. Does he have a girlfriend? Can they put him? Can they put him down with one bullet? Sorry.
I gotta put. This is a TikTok, General. This is the TikTok.
So Hitler's last words: Göring, what are you doing with that gun?
And now just say it with a Russian accent, and we're good.
That's it. What are you doing with that gun?
The last thing you ever
is that how Putin sounds? I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
a big monster. Putin is definitely a big monster. I'll tell you.
He's a big monster. We should do a show on him.
There should be a whole show about it.
So anyway, you obviously we support the Ukraine and we
Oh
don't
yes,
support
we're American. We're
the other
American.
guy
Of course.
who's
We
been
have to
putting
support
a
Ukraine.
tag on our boys out there.
Of
Shame
course,
on you.
Of course. Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so tonight we're going to do our last show. There we go. Our last show of the year is Gamera, another Gamera movie. This is the action figure for Gamera, Guardian of the Universe. You know, that missing episode we can't find.
It's another Russian involvement, General. I guarantee you. It's General got Russian written all over.
That's not going to be in the best of season 1 show, I don't think. Yeah. So anyway, there he is. This is a classic Gamera from 1960s. I think it was 1969. Gamera versus Guiron, who is a knife-headed monster. Really ridiculous-looking monster, to be honest. So, and I hope you enjoy our commentary on this. Most of my notes are about to fall out of my notebook here. I don't know why. You know, you rip one page out of one of these types of, these types of notebooks. You rip one page out and like the whole thing falls apart. I'm just saying. So, okay. So, and you're probably happy to see the shelf of kaiju behind me again. When we do a kaiju movie, we bring out the shelf of action figures.
The cadets have been asking about that shelf. It's a very famous shelf. Everybody wants to know the who's who of the shelf. It's a whole thing.
They're all up there. So, mostly Godzilla characters, but we got some Gamera. So, okay. So, we start with our timeline. Thank you, Major Hazzard. This is I think the company's name is Daie, D-A-I-E, something like that. They are like Toho Light, and they do the Gamera films and the Majin, Daimajin films. So, and we hope to do the Daimajin really soon. Talk about those movies on the show. We might actually, because they're so short, they're only like an hour and 10 minutes long each. We might do 2 or 3 of them on one episode. So, anyway, so this is Gamera versus Guiron. And we start out with, looking out into space, and there's a star way out there on the other side of the sun. And that's where our action begins. And we get our opening credit title. Gamera versus Guiron. There we go. In every one of these Gamera films, they have like a comedy kind of guy. We'll talk about him in a minute. Okay, so we start out with the observatory. And they are receiving messages from outer space, distress messages, I guess. They can't really decipher them. Now, you remember Stephen Hawking. He said, if you ever get messages from space, or don't send messages into space, he said, don't send messages to space, because they might want to feed on us. They might want to come and conquer us. Don't do that. Don't go poking around when you don't know with, So we go in, and there's a news conference about these space emissions, and a scientist, a big important scientist there, whose name I've forgotten. And I just looked up because there's cat hair flying around in the light. Anyway, or it could be dog hair. Who knows? So there he is, and he's very good at handling the press. Look at how happy the press is. There, this scientist. Scientists handle the press a lot better than some presidents do. So there it is. So he keeps the press happy, and then we don't see him again until the end of the film. They go away from him, and that's it. So now we see 3 kids, a little girl and 2 boys, looking through a telescope. And that big giant telescope from the observatory, where all the press was, didn't see this. They didn't see the space saucer that's coming towards Earth. But these kids did. Imagine that. Oh, Renee Yaworsky sent me an attachment. I'll have to check that out after the show's over. So there's a space saucer coming towards us. So the kids are like, hey, It just landed in the field close by here. Let's go. Mom comes in and puts the kibosh on that right away. Yeah. Look at these two kids. They are up to no good. They are trouble. Naughty, naughty boys. So especially the Japanese kid on the right. Man, he is trouble. And Mom knows it. Mom puts the kibosh on this midnight bivouac. Still cannot see your shares. Uh-oh. So the kids get on their bikes first thing in the morning, and they go down past. They have to get past the local constable. Now, okay, as I was saying before, every one of these Gamera films has a comic foil, and in this case, it's what the hell is his name? Kondo, the local constable, the police officer for that neighborhood. And they managed to tack his towel, his sweat towel, to the wall with a plastic dart, a suction cup dart. Now, let's back up for a second, okay? I am no rocket scientist, but have you ever tried to get a rubber suction cup dart to stick to any kind of cloth or clothing at all? It doesn't happen. So how can you stick something to a wall with something like that? If it was a dart gun with like a needle point, okay, that would work. But this is a suction cup. Yeah. Those little continuity gaffes just drive me nuts. I'm sorry. This training film's got a few of them. So anyway, okay. So he says, if you're naughty, I'm going to shave your head. That's what he says. He's going to shave their head. Go tell Mom that. Hey, the local constable said you're going to shave my head because I'm naughty. Boy, they'd be all over him like stink on rice. Anyway, I don't know what I just said. Anyway, so here he is giving them their suction cup back. And they're like, hey, we're going to go out to a spaceship. And he's like, oh, a spaceship. Yeah. Push off, right? That's what all the parents say in this movie. It's, oh, a spaceship. What are you kids, your imagination? So he lets them go. They didn't get past him, but he lets them go. So they bicycle out into the woods. And they're wrestling around out there, and they see some bushes moving around, and it scares them. Is it aliens? And it turns out to be a bunny rabbit. That's no ordinary rabbit. It can leap about so. Look at the bones. Before Julio Morales can say it, or our Monty Python expert, Fred Bowman, I said it. There it is. So, okay. So then they look around some more, and the little girl sees the ship, the spaceship. And she points out, I don't know how they did not see it because they're taller than her, but there it is. So she sees it before they do, and they go up to the spaceship. And, of course, being the naughty boys that they are, they're going to check it out. And this is another thing. They mentioned this on Mystery Science Theater, too, I might add. This was done on Mystery Science Theater. Where the hell do those stairs come from? How convenient that when this ship lands, it carves out in the side of the cliff a nice little staircase for you to walk up and down. Isn't that nice? Now, if it was a smart continuity person on this film, they would have done that sideways. They would have done a ramp down sideways that the kids could have gone down so that you don't see it on the camera. But that's so obviously a carved out staircase that they did. Anyway, so the kids, they go up to the big giant picture of the spaceship. That's what it is. It's only a model. And she's like, you better not go in yet, boys. And, the typical, you don't know what you're talking about. We're going in. It's going to be fun. And the boys go in. And they start pushing buttons right away. So you know what's going to happen. The platform where they walk out and into the ship goes up. The landing gear comes up and they fly off. And the little girl's watching going, how's she going to explain this to Mom? Going back to my notes. Yeah, she looks very upset. She knows there's no way I'm gonna get Mom to believe me on this. So those kids are like, hey, it works. We're flying. Luckily, there was no retro fire there either to burn up the little girl that was left behind. Thank God. I guess it's kind of like a flubber thing where they just go up higher, or maybe a cavorite from First Men on the Moon. Anyway, the first problem they have is that there are giant meteors heading towards them immediately. Meteors that could probably hit Earth, and of course there's been no talk about that in this movie thus far. But meteors are heading towards it. But Gamera shows up just in time to save the day. He breaks the meteors in half and pushes them away. Gamera! Gamera's the friend of all children. Gamera! Gamera! Here he is. And the kids are happy. Oh, Gamera's here now. We don't have to worry anymore. Yeah, right. So they're trying to slow the ship down because it keeps speeding up. And eventually it goes past Gamera. And he's like, ah, ah. That's my Gamera impersonation. You've heard it before on previous show. Oh, and maybe you didn't. So, okay, Gamera goes and flies past the ship again and spins around. And it's amazing that he doesn't swallow this damn ship whole because he's going back in the direction of the ship. Evidently, he must have been able to stop and start flying backwards at the same rate as the ship immediately. Because he's looking into the front ship, but the ship is moving forward, and it keeps moving faster. Eventually, it passes him by again. But there's Gamera's teeth. You know, again, this ship should have went through him like a shot put through a goose. That would have been funnier if they had gone right through him and gone right out of his anus and shot out into space. But no, it goes past him. Anyway, it's a kid's movie. What do we get to the cannibalism part? It's a kid's movie. So the ship outruns Gamera and keeps on moving towards wherever it's going. It's being run by remote control. And the kids realize that now. And again, it's going faster and faster and faster, outrunning Gamera. So the little girl tries to tell her mother, and sure enough, the mother, doesn't believe her. The mom is such a tiger mom. And the little girl makes an interesting case, but the mom just ain't buying it. So, okay, now we get back to the space, the planet where these kids landed. The ship obviously crash landed because it's leaning to one side, but the kids are not hurt. They get up off the ground like maybe they were unconscious for a little while. Then they brush themselves off, and it's no problem. There's no contusions, no blood, no bruises, no bumps. These kids look like they just came out of the shower and are ready to go to school. So the first thing they see is there's a silver Gyaos. Gyaos is one of the first villain monsters, kaiju, that have ever fought Gamera. And in this movie, this planet seems to have silver-colored Gyaos. So the kids look down and they see that the water is running backwards, and this little stream that's running next to them, it runs all the way up until there's no water left. Then the thing opens up, there's a giant pit, and out pops Guiron, a giant knife-headed monster. There's Guiron. And, they roar at each other. That's a Gyaos. That's Guiron. He shoots one of his laser beams at Guiron. Guiron fends it off with his knife head, and it severs the leg of the Gyaos. Looks like evil Gumby. I like it. I'm Gumby, damn it. So yeah, it slices off his leg. He learned a valuable lesson, didn't he? Yeah, it's a kid's movie. Again, all of the violence that happens in this happens to the monsters. So that's how the Gamera people got away with this. And the kids are happy about it. Hey, look, it cut his leg off. And then he chops him up into pieces. He chops his wings off, so he falls down on the ground because Guiron can jump really high. Very fast, very high. And the kids watch him. He slices, he dices. He can even make julienne fries. He chops his head off first. He's already chopped his wings off. And there it is. And then he starts to chop this thing into sushi, chopping it into slices. And it's got a purple inside. And he won't eat it because it stinks for some reason. He's just happy to be chopping stuff up. So they figure out, they go into this little teepee thing on this planet, and it turns out to be a transportation device. Takes them right to where Guiron is. Uh-oh. They go back. Guiron goes back into his little place underneath where the waterfall was. And luckily, by the way, that this planet's the air is breathable to them. It's the same as Earth. How convenient. So I thought this was actually a laser. I thought it was going to shoot these kids. They're on a little ramp that's moving, and the lights go on everywhere they go to, and this thing pops out, and I thought it was going to shoot them. And they're being watched by space biatches. Yeah, these are mean girls. We're going to find that out later. So anyway, oh, that's not the right page. I went too far. So yeah, the two girls with the light up eyes, they come out, cosplay girls. They can't speak the language until they put these little things on their neck, and then they can speak the language. And then the girl speaks with a Southern American language. Hi, how y'all doing? Welcome to our planet. I swear to God, folks, I'm not making this up. It's that funny. So they're looking at each other like, okay, you got any biscuits? A little cornbread? We're kind of hungry. So the kids mention Gamera. And, oh, well, at least Gamera's on his way. And the girls kind of go, oh, who's Gamera? They get a little worried. They admit that they sent the spaceship to Earth and the audio messages. They are the last two of their race. Unfortunately, they created artificial intelligence, and it destroyed their planet. And the only thing that's left now are the Gyaos and these two girls. That's what they say. What they forgot to mention was that they eat meat, like they're cannibals. They haven't mentioned that yet. So the kids can't fit on the ship when they go back, so they're going to make these kids their dinner before they go to Earth, and that's what they're talking about now. And again, the kids mention Gamera, and they're like, what? Gamera? What's that? And the kids don't tell them. Yeah, they're there. That's the reaction to the Gamera. So yeah, these two girls are waiting for a convention to happen, a kaiju convention. Gamera is on his way, though. Old Snaggletooth himself is on his way. So again, the sets are appealing. They're interesting and minimal. You know, they didn't spend a lot of money on this. They don't ever spend a lot of money on these Gamera films. They're pretty low budget. And that's kind of the way that Godzilla films were in the late 60s, except for Destroy All Monsters. So anyway, Akio, that's the kid on the left, he freezes up. And the other kid's shaking him and, hey, what's going on? Why are you not talking? Why are you not moving? It's because one of the space biatches is getting into his head right now, trying to find out what Gamera is. And trying to find out what kind of food they like. Because they're gonna feed them some sleeping powder and then eat their brains. You know. Because when you go to somebody's place, they got to feed you and eat your brains. So yeah, there she is talking to him, trying to find out. So Akio goes into a flashback. He tells he likes donuts and creamy lemonade. He says lemonade, but it looks like milk. That's creamy. So I'm guessing creamy lemonade. So that pops up in the computer. And then these little digital cards pop out. Oh, we'll talk about that in a minute. So here's the flashback to the earlier Gamera films. Gamera versus Virus, Gamera versus Gyaos, several of the earlier Gamera films, and it shows Gamera is helping children in these films. He's the friend of all children. So there you go. So the kids finally shake out of it, and it doesn't even worry them at all that they were frozen for several minutes. The mothers are not worried about the kids being gone. The Akio's mom tells Tom, I think his name is Tom or Tim. Tom, anyway, tells his mom, they're probably just hanging around, and he wants to stay here another couple of days. And then another mom's like, okay, great. And she goes, would you like to come in and have tea? The mother mom goes, no, I don't have time. So she takes off in her car. I mean, like right after she told her, oh yeah, your kid's not here. Oh, okay, fine. I'll see you in a couple of days. She just hauls boogie. So in the car, the little girl is stowed away in the back of the car, and she tells them about the spaceship and everything. And they go to Kondo, and Kondo goes and they checks out the bikes, where the bikes are stowed. And they go into the woods, and the girl shows them where the spaceship was. She takes a nice big stick and makes a big circle in the sand. And they're watching her the whole time she's doing this. She goes, this is where the spaceship was! So there it is. So the mother is like, you are seriously disturbed, child. And Kondo's like, well, no, she never lies. She's a good girl. Okay, we'll try to find your brothers. He's more diplomatic in this situation. He's the comic foil, but he's more diplomatic than the Tom's mom. So he's like, oh well, we'll find your brother and his friend. Don't worry. So and that appeases her. She's happy, the little kid. You believe me? She's happy. And he's like, yeah, whatever, yeah. So cute little moment. But it does show that we should listen to our kids, and when we should, try to glean the truth, the reality out of what our kids are trying to tell us. And that was a message here, I think. And that if you even listen, kids will appreciate it. The mother, she just looks like, you are so wrong. Again, another tiger mom. They don't want to listen. So back on the planet, hey, look at that. They're bringing us donuts and creamy lemonade. Just what I was thinking about earlier. And they again, it doesn't worry them at all. They just go digging right in. And Akio drinks his lemonade real fast. So Tom gives him half his lemonade. And this is an important point for later on, because they have sleeping powder and all that stuff. Later on, Tom wakes up early and manages to save them. And look how nice she is, this wicked witch of the other planet. I'm going to give you donuts and then eat your brain. And Gamera is still making his way towards the planet, which is on the other side of the sun. And here they're knocking out from eating the donuts and the lemonade. And the minute they hit the floor, man, these girls are on them like they bring a thing down from the ceiling. It looks like a little, I guess it's a little barber torture chair. And they shave Akio's head. And then the red light goes off. Just when they're about to cut the skull open to get the brains, the red alarm goes off. Gamera has just made it in time. Just in time. So they send their watchdog, Guiron, out to deal with Gamera. He sounds kind of like a wounded moose. They fire missiles on him. Silly alien girls. Guiron, come on. Silly alien girls. That's not going to work. So Guiron is cutting into Gamera's shell. He's cutting into Gamera's shell. That means he's a very sharp knife. He's like a Ginsu knife kaiju. And there's a kind of a bluish-green blood coming out of Gamera. Again, this makes it okay for the violence. And Gamera manages to grab his foot, bite it, and swing him around so his knife head goes right into a cliff, which is nice. Doink. So now he's stuck there. But what we don't know yet, and Gamera starts to put the flame on him, but what we don't know is that Guiron has these kind of shuriken things that appear, these throwing star things, and they're covered in poison. And phew, he flings them at his foes. And that's how he gets away from them sometimes. And they just appear on the side of his head. Whoop, all of a sudden they're there. Whoop, they start flipping out, and then they come back. They're like boomerang shurikens, throwing stars. So he hits Gamera in the face with them, both sides of his face. And now Gamera is upset. His face is stinging. He takes some snow because the planet is very cold. He puts it on his face. Then he picks up a stalagmite, and Guiron fires the stars, and he flips the stars back at Guiron, and it hits Guiron, and he's upset now. So he goes back into his little cave or his little ditch there, and Gamera jumps into the water because his face is killing him now. He's got a migraine headache. He's got the poison in his face now. He's going to go down to the bottom of this lake that they have there. So the girls are watching, and they're like, "He's dead, good." They're so terrible. So mean. Tom wakes up and he sees Akio with his head shaved. Now the funny thing about this is, this thing comes around the top of his head, so there should be some hair on the back of his head. He should look like a little old man, but for some reason, there's no hair on the back of his head. He's completely shaved. I don't know how that happened. You know when you put a bowl on top of somebody's head and you shave around it, and there's hair around the sides of your ears? No, this kid is cleanly shaven. I don't know. Anyway, that's why I'm here, to see these things for you, to point them out. You got to stop hiring these bad continuity people on these films. So anyway, Redcap wakes up. He goes and sees that Akio's head is shaved. He overhears the girls talking about eating them. So he says, "Let's run," and he gives Akio his red hat because it's embarrassing to run around with a shaved head, right? When you're a kid. So anyway, the other kid is Tom. That's his name. He looks like Theodore Cleaver. I think that was a choice. I think that was they meant to do that. Anyway, these girls are fixing the spaceship now. They're trying to fix the spaceship. They're getting ready to go to Earth so they can be cannibals on Earth and try to take over. We have a little Abbott and Costello thing going on with the transporters here with the boys. When the girls see the boys are out, they go after them. Yeah, got a little Benny Hill going on. So those boys are out, those naughty boys. We should have eaten them when we had the chance. We still haven't gotten to the transporter thing yet, but anyway, there we go. So they're chasing him around in the transporter. They fool the girls into going into the transporter. They realize the girls are out, and the girls come back and we said it to come back, and then they put them in a cage thing that appears. And evidently there is no ceiling on the cage, and they can probably easily climb up to the top and get out, but they don't. The reason I say that is because they get pelted with boulders a little later on, which I'm going to point out. So obviously the top of the cage is open, so these boulders can come falling in, like you're filling up a blender. Back on Earth, the little girl and the mothers are now starting to get worried about the boys not being back. And again, the Tom's mother decided she had time after all, I guess. And then the news people show up, making things worse. They're like, "We heard that there was a space saucer in the area. We would like to talk to the little girl." So yeah, now the close by observatory says, yeah, there was a space saucer in the area, and the news picked up on it, and they found out about this little girl telling the local constable, the local police guy, Kondo, about the space saucer, and they go to see her. So now the mothers are really getting worried. Our kids left on a space saucer? Really? She's telling the truth? Really? So there it is. I'm telling you, these are the worst moms ever. So anyway, the boys, when the girls leave again to work on the spaceship, the boys conveniently have a little hole in the side, I guess to breathe, although the top is open. They conveniently have a little hole inside the side of the side of the cage because it's got a plexiglass thing around it. It's a cage, but it's got a plexiglass thing around it. But there's a hole there. So the kid, and I don't know why, don't ask me. I didn't make the movie. The kid uses his dart gun that he has. He says, I got four darts left. And he shoots to try to see if he can hit one of the control panels. To see if he can hit one of those little triangular buttons on the control panel. And he does. He does it. And that lets Guiron loose. So the girls decide, we're going to take off in the flying saucer. It's ready. Let's go. They take off the flying saucer, but Guiron is not under their control now. He's just Guiron. So he jumps up like he always does, and he cuts the ship in half. So the biatches get their due when their ship is chopped in half and it crashes back on the planet. And the ship must be really fast because it is hovering very slowly up into the air. But when Guiron slices in half, it must be way the hell up there because, you know, he has to jump very far to get. Anyway, that's just my thing. The co-pilot chair falls on one of the space witches, and it injures her. She can't walk. So the other one shoots her. She goes, you know what it's like, what we have to do with our people and our rules in our society. She zaps her, and when they die, it's like The Invaders, a Quinn Martin production. They just disappear. They disintegrate when they die, because it happens to the other girl later when she gets pelted and dies. Which, hey, you get spoilers on the show. What can I say? We show you everything. So Gamera, the boys see Gamera under the water and they yell out to him, "Come on, Gamera, come on, get up, yeah, save us." Gamera's like, "Leave me alone. I got a bad headache. Shut up, boys." And Guiron attacks the building that the boys are in. And look at here, they're getting pelted with huge chunks of concrete. Look at this. Huge chunks are falling on this kid's heads and shoulders. All right, in this cage, this they're really getting squashed by this stuff. But no, there's not even a scratch on them in a minute. There's no dents, no scratches, no bruises, no blood, nothing. These kids, again, still look like they're ready to go to school. So Gamera finally wakes up. He's like, oh, all right. And he finally wakes up. And he flies up out of the water. The kids, see, no problem. They got out. Thanks, Guiron, for opening that cage for us and pelting us with giant pieces of concrete, which hurt. But we're okay. We don't have any contusions or... I'm cracking myself up here. No concussions. These kids are tougher than Julio Morales. I'm telling you right now. They had no concussions. Again, another joke that most of our fans will never get. It's part of our own universe, our multiverse. So Gamera flies out, and Guiron is on him just like that. He's wants to fight. He's just a monster, and he wants to fight. So, but Gamera knows how he moves now. So he manages to evade him and get out of his way real quick before he can chop into his shell. Which is good. He's fast. He's stealthy. Stealthy Gamera. So Guiron again keeps trying to stab him. Gamera keeps moving out of his way. Guiron decides he's going to use his shuriken stars. I think that's coming up next. No, oh no, I forgot. That's coming up next. After next, I forgot to go back that one slide if you can. Gamera does a little gymnastics here, which is really weird. Yeah, he just flies around the bar a couple of times and he does a dismount. In this film, yes, Gamera does a little Olympic gymnastics, And the judges roar. They give him, 9 points, 9.5, 10. So Guiron is upset because he can't seem to get a move in on him. So he uses the shuriken stars. His head opens up and he does the shuriken star thing. But the boys say, hey, you know what? Duke! They hit his trap door to his thing. And he does. He actually gets the throwing stars into Gamera's arms, his 2 arms, which means he can't pull his arms in to fly. So he goes back in the water again because that helps with the poison. It helps to dilute the poison, I guess, which is smart. But Guiron goes back into his little cubby hole there, but he is angry because the boys put him in there and he didn't want to go in there. He breaks out. He breaks out of his cage. He goes into the water knowing where Gamera is, and he goes after him. I'm going past my notes here. And there he is sneaking up behind Gamera. And he slices Gamera in the back between his shoulder blades. Gamera's upset, but and again, he keeps moving. Guiron does. He does like one of those moves. So he's up in there, and Gamera goes up, and he grabs him by the legs, and then he flies him up out of the water. Because Gamera's got quick moves now. So he flies him up out of the water. And then he flies him back down again, back towards Earth. Or their Earth, the other Earth on the other side of the sun. Earth 2. I don't know. I don't know what they call it. I think they said it once in the film, and I missed it. Anyway, go check it out on IMDb. I don't know. So he sticks his knife head right into the ground, so he can't do any harm. And he's just sitting there. Like one of those flowy things at the car lot. With his limbs dangling. And again, the only weapon he's got left is the throwing stars again, which he tries to do. And again, Gamera evades it. His throwing star thing is open. The holes are open now. The boys shoot a missile, which is sliced in half by Guiron. Half of the missile goes to where the space biatch is, blows her thing up. She gets clubbed by some debris, and she dies. So that's the end of the space witches. That's the nicest word I can call them, space witches. The other half of the missile, Gamera catches it, and he shoves it through the hole in Guiron's head, and causes it to blow up, putting an end to, and then that scrambles Guiron's brain like a blue crab. So Guiron dies. And there's great rejoicing. Yay. So Gamera, using his heat from his mouth, he solders the ship back together again, puts it in his mouth, and flies it back into space with the boys in it. Tells the boys to get in, they get in, he puts it in his mouth, flies back to Earth with it. Gamera! Gamera! So yeah, he's the hero, the friend of all children, and he flies him back to Earth. He gets back to Earth much quicker than it took him to get there to that planet. for the sake of the movie's time and convenience, the trip back is much easier. So, okay. So he welds the spaceship together, takes it back to Earth. The observatory sees Gamera coming back with a spaceship in his mouth. So does the little girl at the same time. And it comes back. I'm throwing my notes out. So they all go out to wait in the place where the ship took off, because obviously that's where Gamera's going to bring it back to, right? He knows where. I don't know how he knows where to take it, to be honest with you. The kids didn't tell him. Not in any scene that I saw in the movie. Hey, Gamera, take us to the little place by our home. You know where our home is. It's in Japan. And the space, it's an open field in the southern part of Tokyo. They didn't tell him, but he knows exactly where to take it. Gamera's amazing. So they're all waiting for him. Everybody, including Kondo, the local constable. He's got nothing better to do, you know. And a little girl's waiting. And Gamera shows up. There, look, it's Gamera. Of course, it's hard for him to make his sound because he's got a ship in his mouth. Okay, maybe not so much. And she's very happy to see that her brothers are back, or her brother and his friend are back. Gamera is bringing them back. She goes right down those carved stairs back to the place. And again, luckily, Gamera's retro rockets from his rear end are not pointing towards her when he lands. And he's not doing the spinning thing with the all four arms in there, you know, so there's no fire coming out that'll hurt the little girl. So he lands and puts the ship down. The girl runs down there. The rest of the people run down there. The kids come out of the flying saucer. And they thank Gamera, which is, well, how nice. These boys have been so naughty throughout this film, but they took the time to thank Gamera for bringing them back. And everybody notices that Akio's head has been shaved because he's naughty. Kondo gives him a great reaction for that. I see that Gamera has brought you back. Look at Tom's mom. She is going to wail on that ass. I'm telling you right now, she is just going to wail on that butt. You know it. Got on a rocket ship, got on a spacecraft that you don't know, and you went to another planet. Wait till I get you home. Where's that reaction shot from Kondo? There's the thank you. There you go. The kid takes his hat off. Oh, you're so naughty. Somebody shave your head before me. So Gamera puts his head in and he puts his arms in. That means he's going to do the spinning thing. That means there's going to be fire all over the gosh darn place. But these people don't run. He just takes off, and luckily none of them get singed. And of course, Akio gives this message about how Earth is better than going to other planets, and we should just do our best to make things better on this planet so that we don't have car accidents. This kid he really has something against car accidents because he mentions it like 500 times in this film. Death and destruction and hunger and car accidents. He really doesn't like car accidents. So that's his big speech at the end. And Gamera flies away, and everybody waves, thank you, Gamera! Dun, 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 dun. And that's it. That's the movie. And again, we got through it very quickly because it was only like an hour and 20 minutes. A lot of these films back in the mid 60s were, an hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, especially from Dye, the company Dye. Now, and again, that's because the movie theaters want to be able to show more. They want to show it more times to more people. So again, if you have an hour and 15-minute movie or an hour and 20-minute movie, you're going to get an extra show per day, or two. Mommy, the boys got into a giant walking flu. Thank you, Jonathan. Cadet Jonathan is here. Thank you so much. We've got David. William Myers is back. He doesn't have to call himself Dave. Good evening, everybody. I salute you, sir. I hope you're enjoying the show. I hope you enjoyed the show. Anybody else? What other comments do we have here that we can talk about?
That's it. That's it.
Gamera. And there's so many Gamera films we still need to do. We really do. There's Gamera versus Virus, Gamera versus Gyaos, Gamera versus Baragon, Gamera versus Zigra. There's a lot of them still out there. So we'll get them on a list eventually, and we'll get them. We'll get to them. So thank you so much for watching the show this entire year. We've had 2 seasons this year, which is amazing. 28 shows per season. Okay, so that's 56 shows in a 52-week year. So not bad. Not bad at all. We won't be able to do that again next year, but again, we'll have season 3 out before you know it. Thank you, Major Hazzard, for helping keep this thing rolling smoothly forward.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Look for the best of shows this weekend, maybe as early as tonight. We'll see. Again, but definitely by this weekend, we'll try to get both of them out so that you can watch them. And it's, again, best of clips of us doing the funniest lines from these shows. I try to do 2 clips for each episode. But it might be more than an hour if I do that. So we'll see. We'll see how editing goes.
And where can the people watch it, General? When it's
on YouTube. You can go to the Cosmos Creative TV channel on YouTube and see it there. And again, I hope to put out the link, the URL, the link to the show.
Right, the link, yeah, the link
to the shows, so that people can see them. Because some people don't want to sign up for Cosmos Creative TV. I don't know why, because it's got a lot of good content, a lot of good stuff on there, but they want to see, the shows. So I will be putting the links out on General Howitzer's Big Monster Review Room on Facebook. I'll be putting them around wherever I can so that people can go look them up, and or the description of the show, so they can just do a search and find the show and watch it. The shows, all of them. So there it is. I hope we have a great year next year. I've got a feeling we're going to have a great year next year.
Saturday, we want to talk about Rory Penland. Our good friend is headlining.
We give him way too much press.
He's headlining Jay's Jam Fest. That's Jay Thompson's, and that's Saturday.
Now, how did he manage that? He doesn't even play a musical instrument.
He's very talented. He's the man of 1,000 voices. I think you're a little jealous, General, because he tends to get.
So he's going to do some comedy?
He's going to do all kinds of stuff. He sings
on a Jam Fest.
He does he does it all. He does talk shows because he's got It's Casuals coming back next year. He's a very busy man.
I'm waiting for that, okay? Because I've missed It's Casual. I wanted to come back.
That's
so
right.
I'm that when is that? February? He said February. It's coming back, right?
February. It's going to be a big shebang. It's going to be wonderful. But everybody Saturday.
You know what else I want to see is Drita. I want to see. I want to see the No Icing show. When is that coming back? Do you know?
That's coming. Oh boy, I think that might be February too. I just heard it today, and I'm
okay.
But all of 2023, starting in January, Tom Chester's show is coming back.
Yeah, Burn It Down. We got Burn It Down with Tom Chester, another great show.
Coming back. That's right. All kinds.
Jamie Bennett's got a couple of shows.
Jamie Bennett's got shows.
Belongs to the Shadows. It's my favorite. And
and Willow's coming out. She's going to have her own show. She's Jamie's daughter. And Patty, which is Sandy.
What's the other one? Warrior Within.
The Warrior Within is going to
Warrior Within. Yes.
And then
Diane Marie Coll, who does our theme song.
Yes, but Sandy D's mother Patty has her own show now as well. And Diane Coll, the Pause Button, will be back in January.
The Pause Button.
And Cloud 9.5, Jay Thompson, that'll be back in January as well. Lots of great stuff.
Lots of good stuff on Cosmos Creative TV. And here on GBGB.
Of course. Well, Cosmos is the station, so we get all kinds of things. We got TCB Studios goes in there, Tardon Media, because we have Orchid Times, Lily May.
Right.
We love them. They come back and they're going to be back better than ever. They're amazing, and that's still going to be Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern time.
By the way, we actually promote the CDB products.
That's right.
I just received in the mail this week the drops, the moisturizing cream, and the gummies. So I'm looking forward to using those to kind of calm myself, relax. Because I have high blood pressure. You know how I get.
Yes, and
I easily get angry.
And it relaxes you. The CBD is it's anti-inflammatory. It helps people sleep.
Yeah.
It helps people calm down. It's wonderful.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you for a great year. Everybody, especially you, Major Hazzard, for again, you're the.
I don't want to get verklempt. I don't want to get emotional.
You're the oil that keeps these weird gears and wheels moving forward. And I mean, okay, I'm going to give myself a pat on the back. I do a lot of work for this show.
You do hours and hours,
hours to get these timelines together for people.
It's a
colorizing black and white films for our timeline for people. And again, I'm hoping it's going to pay off. I'm hoping thousands of people will find us this next year and we will become, we'll have a huge group of people that will enjoy what we're creating here, because we've been working hard this year. Again,
this is
56 shows. This is show 56.
It's Mystery Science Theater, but live
and
interactive.
No, they do their thing, and it's funny. It's great, and they got away with it. We can't do that today. The rules have changed in the game, but what we do is unique in its own. And again, we give colorized versions of these films. We're the Cliff Notes of horror films and monster films.
That's what I wanted. Is that a lot people might not understand, but a lot of the slides that we show have never been shown in color before. Actually, never before. It's the only time you're going to be able to see that.
And again, we did Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman like a week ago, and Alan Hops, our guest, who is an expert on werewolves and furry things, he was like, wow, this is really strange to see this in color, because I've seen this hundreds of times and in black and white. But he liked it. He was like, this is really neat to see this in color. So it is worth it.
It is definitely worth it, and it's something that a lot of the fans, the diehard fans especially, are going to go crazy over. They just need to know that it's out there.
They don't know we're here. That's the thing. We got to find ways to make them see, hey, we're here. We're doing this. I hope that this doesn't become famous posthumously. I hope I don't die before it comes.
No. Let's not go there. Please don't say anything. Just don't say anything.
I mean, like the Van Gogh of monster films.
Please don't say
it. So, but we got 2 seasons under our belt, which is great. And again, we've had a lot of fun. You're going to see on the best of shows. We've had a lot of fun this year. I forgot how much fun we've had this year.
There's a lot of crazy stuff, and when Julio comes on, it gets extra crazy, and I love it. Julio is
all of our guests we've had a good time with. All of our guests we've had a good time with. I can honestly say and humbly say, we haven't had a bad show. We've had all of our shows have been fun. We've had fun with everybody that's been on. And again, it's just been a fun ride this year.
Absolutely. It really has. And Sandy wants me to remind everyone that Clayton James Hicks, he's TikTok famous. And that's true. And Clayton does a lot of promotion for us on this show. And he does a lot of tagging and behind the scenes production. So we appreciate Clayton. Yes, we do.
And he reminds me to stock toilet paper, too, which is very important.
Very important, very important. And Sandy also wants me to remind everyone that David, also, who's one of the cadets in the audience, he also might be coming out with the show. He's thinking about it, so we might be seeing a lot more of David in 2020.
Well, he's got a beautiful voice. I will tell you that. I watched some of his concerts. He's got a stunning, beautiful voice.
And very talented.
And there's no other word for it. I mean, it's just beautiful. It's just very, very. But I should be taking some of those CD products and watching his show. Really relax.
I agree. He's absolutely beautiful. Do you want me to run? You know what? I have the ad. I have the CBD ad. Do you want me to run it at the end here?
Does it have the song that's copyrighted?
It does. So it absolutely does.
I think we did a good commercial here without that.
Okay.
And we're definitely going to run that ad, but we're going to put different music to it.
We already did a commercial. That's right. We actually did a commercial right now. That's true.
So I hope they appreciate the fact that we appreciate what they do for us. So we'll be back.
It's the best product out there. It's the best of them. I've had other brands. It is absolutely the best of them. Helps me to sleep. Helps me to calm down. It's the best.
What I need is help going back to sleep after I wake up to go to the bathroom, because when I go back to sleep after sleeping for 4 or 5 hours, I'm thinking and I'm thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking, and I need to go back to sleep. So that's what I'm going to use them for.
That's what you're going to use it. Just pop a gummy. That's it.
There we go. That's what I'm going to use them for. All right.
Okay, we'll see everybody on Saturday then. We'll see everyone on Saturday.
We'll see them on Saturday for the New Year's Eve shows, and we'll see you next week, next Tuesday, for season 3, episode 1 and 2.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Keep an eye out for those big monsters.